Yousaf, because what's interesting about the SNP here is you pick and choose which referendums you like to hold and which referendums you respect the vote of, which you want to do again. And by our calculations, if we're following all of the things that your leader has said, there'll be not one, but two referendums next year.
Yes.
Is that really what you think the British people want to go through again?
I'm telling you it's what the Scottish people want. And Michael, to answer your question, and I think the gentleman in the same row as you, look, Scotland voted overwhelmingly to stay within the European Union. 62%, not a small margin, a pretty hefty margin. Scotland voted to stay in the European Union. We're going to get dragged out. Now, out of all the nations in this so-called partnership of equals, Scotland is frankly the only one that is getting shafted. England voted to leave, you're going to leave. Wales voted to leave, they're going to leave. Northern Ireland voted to remain, they get a differentiated deal. Scotland votes to stay, and we are going to get dragged out. That is completely anti-democratic.
Sorry,
and let me just hold on, Emma. I want to address the point
that
the lady made in the second row here on the right. Because not only should 16-year-olds get to vote, as they did in the Scottish independence referendum, but what a disgrace that EU citizens weren't allowed to vote in the EU referendum. What an absolute disgrace. The people it was going to affect the most didn't get the chance to vote. And let me just say this about the parties.
Sorry, could I just ask you that? How long do you believe the results of a referendum should last?
If there is a material change in circumstances, then of course you should be able to ask the question again. Look, this is probably Emma.
What if the UK doesn't leave? You lose. What if under Jeremy Corbyn's government, which you may or may not have to support come Friday, what if Angela Rayner and the whole shadow cabinet team negotiate a new deal, and what if the British people as a whole vote to remain? You cannot have a Scottish independence referendum
again, can you? With the greatest respect, Emma, it's not for you or anybody in Westminster, or indeed not from Scotland, to decide. It's for the Scottish people to decide if they want another
you've lost your material difference.
No, actually, the Brexit issue is just symptomatic of a broken Westminster system. We've had 10 years of Conservative stroke Lib Dem austerity we did not vote for. A bedroom tax, a benefits cap, a rate clause, all of which Scotland did not vote for. Are you surprised, any of you, looking at the Westminster system over the last few years, is it any surprise that Scotland looks at that shambles and goes, you know what, thanks, but no thanks?
OK, thank you very much. Let's get some more comments here.